Hi, and today we're replacing the front door for our house. This project is not that hard and you most likely can do it alone. If you can have a friend who can help you out, that would be even better. The first step is removing the trim around the door from the outside. We cut in the silicone. In some of the places it already came out loose. From this side it's still intact, so we will have to do it all around the area. And inside of your house. If you remove it carefully, you may be able to reuse it. But in our case, the trim is already damaged in multiple locations and we will probably gonna have to replace it. Now when the trim is removed, for us it's easier to see where the screws holding the frame. In some cases the foam will cover it and we will not be able to see it. So in that case, what we do, we open the door, remove the weather stripping, that's an old one, so we don't have to worry about damaging it. And this is where the installers usually put the screws. So we have screws all along the frame, at least 3 of them. Grab a screwdriver and undo them. Keep in mind, after you remove those screws, the frame becomes unsecured and may fall on you because of the weight of the door. Be careful. Now we are simply at the moment where we should be able to remove the frame, but the only thing that's holding it is the foam. We should cut the foam around the frame, and that should be the last step before we finally can remove the frame. I forgot to mention, some of the screws that holding the door may be as long as the one that was holding the frame, so we're gonna have to probably undo the door first and then remove the frame. Anyway, removing the frame without the door will be easier. That's the screw. And I guess one more. Yep. Before we will put our new door in, we're gonna have to remove all the foam that left on the frame. As you can see, the old door was secured in the bottom with liquid nails. We're probably gonna do the same, but before we do that, we're gonna have to remove the old glue. Okay, before we put our door in, we need to check if it fits. In our case, for some reason, even though we did exactly the same measurements, our gap from the top is twice as big as it was on the previous door. On the left side, we almost at the same gap, but I want to make it more tight, so we will cut the plywood and insert it from the left and right side. It will be easier than to adjust the vertical level of the door, because with this gap, adjusting the vertical level will be hard using shims. So this is how we're gonna take care of the gaps. On the top, I had to put the 2x4. On the side, small pieces of the plywood. I adjusted to the point where the door could be vertically installed. Now we put it in, and all these gaps in between the door frame and the frame of the house, we will fill with the special foam that's designed for doors and windows. Do the final check, better be safe than sorry. Double check everything. I like the way it holds in between the frame. Make sure that you can level it up, so before you screw it, we're gonna do it again when we're gonna put the screws and secure it to the house frame. Make sure that you will be able to follow all the levels along the frame. Now we are removing the door, apply the adhesive, and then putting the door back in and secure it to the frame. I'm excited. And we will start securing it on the left side. And one trick that we're gonna use, remember I told you that sometimes they put the longer screws in the hinges, and this is exactly what we're gonna do. Already removed one screw on each hinge. After the door is secured, for the perfect result, you may need to use the longer level and put it next to the side. And if you see that the bubble right in the middle, that means the installation done perfectly. When the door is installed, our crucial part of the installation is to make sure that all the gaps around the door are sealed, and make sure you wear gloves and eye protection and use proper foam. We're gonna use great stuff foam. It's specifically designed for window and doors. The main specific of this foam is it's not expanding as other foam. So if you choose wrong foam, it will damage the frame. So it will start pushing from the sides and it will bend the frame. Put our spray on. We need to shake it vigorously at least 60 seconds. And the reason we are wearing gloves and eye protection, because sometimes these cans, not specifically this brand, but it can occur with any brand, it can blow and damage your eyes or skin. Alright, it's all shaken, doesn't matter what side we started at. When the foam is applied, it's a good thing, go inside of the house and check all the gaps. From this point, if you see any lights, that will mean that you missed the spot, but in our case, everything's tight. Nope, we got a little bit of the air here. So let's go back and apply a little bit more of the foam. Our foam is applied. If for some reason you dropped foam, don't rush to clean it out. Let it dry and only after that remove it. We're gonna let it sit for half an hour, and while we're waiting, we will prepare the trim for the door. When the foam has dried out, you can see the foam coming out of the frame. So this will be on our way when we will put the trim, so we just simply cut it with our knife and remove it. Now grab our trim, put it next to the frame. Make sure it fits well along the frame with the door. And using our nail gun, nail it. It stays intact. As you remember, our door a little bit shorter. Instead of making a 45-degree, I made 55-degree angle. And we will use the same piece, but we will do the custom piece and extend it so it will go all the way to the lintel. And here's to explain why should I make the custom piece. So if I'll use exactly the same piece and put it right above it, we're still missing, I would say, probably 3/4 of an inch that we need to put on bottom of this piece, so we will have clear, nice transition. And to give you an idea of what I did, so I took 2 pieces of this, cut 3/4 of this bottom part, and nail it on the bottom. Now when it's all fit together, I can clearly see that I can paint it up and seal it around. I'm not one of those guys who can do the perfect line without any painter's tape, so I applied the painter's tape, barely covering the trim on this side, and gives more exposure on the side from the wall. Grab the caulk closest by the color. You can see I always apply it in between the trim and the door frame. It looks pretty good, so now the only thing left is apply it in between the trim and the wall. For that you will need the caulk you choose. I chose Dynaflex Ultra Dap caulk and the caulk gun. Make sure you seal the gap, so you will get something like that. And this is our moment of the truth. Do not push it that hard, but just slightly move the finger. And this is the time where you can relax. Everything is sealed around, looks nice. I love the way it turned out. And this is how you install your front door. Hope this video helped you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.